Yes, I am back, finally. Been gone for like, I don't know, probably nearly 2 weeks now. I was waiting for some new lens caps for my GoPro, just because my OCD drives me nuts, and the little greys from when the GoPro came off a helmet, it left a little scratch, and it was quite noticeable. To me it was, maybe not to you, but it's an OCD kind of thing. Anyways, I'm racing Members 3 for 2, Warrington. It would have been the 13th of June 2022, and my main aim in this race was actually just to sit behind Tommy for a bit. So if everyone knows Warrington quite well, Tommy Lee, probably the most consistent elite driver around this track. He probably wins 95% of all the members events that come up. So I always enjoy racing and being behind him, because I know if I'm catching up to him, I'm doing something right. This video is actually quite funny. His car throws a bit of a wobbler, and it really costs some smoke out of me. So that's probably about halfway through this video, maybe. You'll see it though, very noticeable. Anyways, the main point of this voiceover is because after all the thinking about it, being asked about it, I'm recording this voiceover. It's currently 20 to 1 in the morning, and I just signed up for BIKC. I've told everyone that I won't do it just because the lightweight bracket is quite annoying, but I just thought, what have I got to lose, really? I'll just see if I can get lucky with the qualifiers, whatever, and we'll see how BIKC evolves for me. This is actually quite annoying. I've posted some really good lap times, especially when this race was. I actually do a 58.8 in this race, which is formidable in the time of year it was. And yeah, that time obviously doesn't count because I didn't sign up to BIKC until just about 20 minutes ago. So now I'm going to have to go and get my qualifying times, which shouldn't be a problem with the amount of times I go here. I kind of want to do the regional at Sheffield, maybe. In fact, if anyone's up for travelling, me, Tommy Lee in front of me, Alex, staff member, and Nathan, another staff member, we're going to Sheffield on Tuesday. So what day is that? Tuesday the 21st, I think. And we're literally going there from our first race is 5 PM, and we're just going to literally book onto as many races as we want to do without getting tired. Tommy the madman has booked on to 6 separate sessions. He has booked on to 3 hours of constant racing, pretty much. And Sheffield's quite a tough track. It really is. Only people who have raced Sheffield, and Tommy knows, it's quite tough on his hands. Another thing, I have actually bought some like finger protection and palm protection now. So I'm hoping, obviously coming towards BIKC, that this will benefit me in the long run, using hand protection, because it bothers me on my thumbs. It doesn't really bother anyone else on the thumbs, just the palms. I think it just depends how you hold the steering wheel. I hold it quite light, and I just move my hands around so I can favour whether I'm turning left or right. You will see me shuffle my hands around in certain karts. I think this kart was quite good, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, there you go. Tommy's car just goes in my face. I've actually never seen Tommy blow up a kart. He does get black flagged here, and he's probably looking at this thinking, I'm so confused. So he gets black flagged, and he's probably thinking, that can't be for me, I've done nothing wrong. Which obviously he didn't do anything wrong, and he can't see what's happening behind him. But that kart chucked a lot of smoke out at me, and I definitely tasted that one, so we say. So, I mean, this car is kind of all over Tommy's at this point. If I'm catching up to Tommy, I know Tommy's in not so good of a car. it kind of sucks for him, to be honest with you, because I think after it backfired, whatever, his kart did get faster. It was almost like, I don't know, going down the motorway trying to clear your DPF light in your diesel cars, if any of you are old enough to understand that. That's exactly what happened. It's like it just made the engine perform a little bit better, because he does seem to get a little bit of distance now. But he does get black flagged again, and he has to retire the kart, which is a shame, because I told him kart 8 was pretty good before we went out, and obviously something's happened to it. I probably should have known something was wrong with it, with how Tommy was driving it. There's not really much he could do. You know, at the end of the day, how I see it is, you get handed. So you go to the pit lane, you get given a kart, yeah? I will never ever go to the pit lane and I'll be like, oh, can I have that car? No, don't need to do that. If I've been out in a car and I've prematurely brought it in, I don't bring it in complaining, I just bring it in saying, yeah, this needs sorting with it. But if I get given that car the next race, which happened to me last week, I'll just be like, yeah, can you just pull that one to the back and give me another car? I mean, last week I brought in, I think it was kart 2, because the steering wheel was wonky, and I just thought I'd come off quite early, knowing that I couldn't do a competitive lap time. I brought it in to preserve myself for the last race of the 3 for 2, and then in the very last race of the 3 for 2, I almost got given kart 2 again, and I just said, yeah, can I just not have that kart? I've not preserved my energy just to have to deal with that again. Every car is decent in its own way. How it seems to be in summer, if you're getting a lot of grip, I'm going to straight up say that that car is probably it'd be lacking pace in lap times, because your grip's that high that you're just going slower, especially through the one section, as my last video demonstrated. So yeah, if you're going slow through this entire one section now, then I would query how good your kart is. If your kart doesn't slide here, so I get a bit of squealing, yeah. If it doesn't slide there at all, that's a telltale sign that your car is just not performing to your usual likeness or standard, however you want to say it. And yeah, it's not like there's good and bad karts out there. You know, like I had a really grippy car and I came off and did a 59.5 or 59.6 maybe, but it was a great car to drive, but because I had too much grip, it was also considerably slower than what I would have liked to have, you know, done with that car. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, and I'm never going to complain about a car like that. The only time I would say a car is bad is if we have like the steering wheel's off alignment, because that kind of annoys you when you're trying to turn, like especially the, how many right turns are there on this track? There's probably more, there might be more left turns, can't remember, but if you're having to hold the steering wheel because it's wonky to the right, then to turn left is going to be really easy, but to turn right is going to be like twice the effort. And that's kind of annoying when you're trying to race, because it tires you out. That's understandable. Also, sometimes I get into karts and the spring has unclipped itself from the pedals. So if I drop my foot from the brake, the pedal will fall forward. And that doesn't make it a bad kart. It's just like a, what do you call it, inconvenience to you. I did get a kart tonight which did that, and I just stuck with it because I couldn't clip it back on in time. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. So yeah, I've entered BIKC. I will be a lightweight. I'm guessing by the time BIKC comes round, I'm going to be like 67 kilo with everything on, something like that, which is going to be like the upper lightweight bracket. I think that might have been my fastest lap. Yeah, that was definitely my fastest lap that you just watched. That was a 58.8. So yeah, I've got Lewis Jackson in front of me. I'm not sure who's in front of him. I'm watching the playback on a really small mini player, so it's really hard to see who the person is in front of him. But yeah, you do get a bit fortunate with the stop-start timer on turn 1, because if you do have a good lap, oh, it's Beth. If you do have a good lap, then you can just fly over the finish line, and you can easily do probably 0.02 of a second faster if you do that than just brake normally into turn 1. You can't do that on BIKC. Why can't you do that on BIKC? Because the stop-start timer is there just under the bridge to the right, so they do move it. So yeah, the stop timer's here, on that line, but it gets moved for BIKC. So if you're on a really good flying lap and you feel like your PB is being contended, then yeah, just breeze past the finish line like I do in a lot of videos. I do try and tell a lot of people this as well. Some people do it. Some people are still amazed when I tell them that, even though I mentioned it all the times. But yeah, I think I'll probably just sit behind Lewis for the rest of this race, to be honest with you. I think I've pretty much given this kart all it had. I might drop back and I might have another lap. I think my last lap is also 58.8, so I definitely do have another lap. But yeah, I'll drop the commentary short here. I'll try and play a bit of switchbacks with Lewis. Oh, by the way, in race 2, was it race 2? Yeah, in race 2, I try and dive Lewis into turn 4. I overextend because I get kart 10 that he's currently in. It had a bit of issues turning right. It just didn't want to turn right. So I go through turn 4, this one here, after Dunlop 2, and I just completely cut across. I go all the way to the outer tyre wall, and then I try and compromise my lines by slowing myself down and Lewis down, hopefully, and then I just can't turn right again, and then Lewis ends up doing a switchback on me. So kudos to him, because I don't think he's ever done that to me, but he went for it and he made it happen. So yeah, well done for pulling that off against me. It's literally one of my signature moves, and I messed it up badly, and he took the opportunity and it paid. So yeah, I'll upload video 2. When will I upload it? Maybe in 2 days time or something. But yeah, this was race 1, 58.8 something, can't remember. But I'm gonna have to keep coming now, try and do some more 58s for my BIKC qualifying times. So yeah.